What if you never had to film another reel again to grow consistently on Instagram? After 13 years of posting and growing my own audience to more than 100,000 followers, I've written tens of thousands of posts for people and brands that grew to hundreds of thousands, even millions of followers without needing to post reels or having a single viral video. And every single one of them told me that that method built them a better quality audience than the audience they gained when they were posting reels. So by the end of this video, you will have the blueprint for consistent and predictable Instagram growth, plus 3 post styles that you can copy and paste to start growing daily. And one of them does the heavy lifting, and it is not the one that you would expect. Because would you rather have 1,000 people who are mindlessly scrolling watch a video of yours and then just keep scrolling after? Or just 20 people who have opened up Instagram to find the exact type of content that you've shared, who stop and read it and then who take action after consuming? Think about it like this. How do you feel when you're doom scrolling? You scroll, you watch, you forget, you continue, and you probably feel pretty crappy 20 minutes later. Whereas how do you feel when you read an article or a post? You stop, you think, you put your mind on it, and then at the end of it, you feel like you've learned something. And because you spend more time there, you're more likely to take action that they advise you to take after, because your head has been in it, which means you're likely to save that post or share it, and of course, follow the person that shared the content. And in that second example, the second creator gave the audience more useful information. Because we have 2 kinds of attention. We have passive attention and then we have intentional attention. Passive attention is where people have lost 20 minutes after they've consumed your content and they feel like, oh my gosh, I just wasted my time. Whereas intentional attention is where someone feels, wow, this really helps me. So let me show you 2 posts from the same creator. So this is Anna, and this post here got 3,200 likes, loads and loads of views, but it didn't get a single buyer. Whereas this post, on the other hand, got a small fraction of the number of views and a small fraction of the number of likes. But check this out. It got 113 qualified leads from millionaire buyers, which for Anna are the exact types of people that her business serves. Some posts are designed to grow, whereas others are designed to connect. Imagine someone that you've never met walks up to you on the street and they just start telling you what to do. Would you listen to them? You don't know who they are, whether they understand your problem, or if they're even an authority figure in that space. And it's the exact same when a stranger sees your content on Instagram for the first time. So if you treat every post the same, one of 2 things happens. You speak to strangers as though they should already know you and trust your advice, so they're thinking, who is this random British girl on my feed and why should I listen to her? That's what they think if they see me. Or you keep giving existing followers basic information so your relationship doesn't move forward. Instead, I want you to imagine that you have been invited to speak at your dream event. Let's say it's a Tony Robbins event. As you walk onto the stage, in that room full of thousands of people who could all be potential clients for you and your business, how would you want them to introduce you as you walk onto the stage? Because before you speak, the introduction needs to make the audience understand, is this relevant to me? Why should I care? And why should I listen to this person particularly? And that's what you need to do in the first 2 lines of any growth post where you're speaking to strangers. Now let's contrast that with a post where you're speaking to your existing audience, which is designed to connect or convert. They already know who you are, they followed you for a reason already, so they get the basics and they see that you're already an authority figure in that space. So in that connect and convert content, you can go deeper, you can go tactical, and you can actually give them advice knowing that they already understand why they should listen to you. And the beautiful thing about this is it means you can take one topic and package it up in 2 different ways, meaning every idea gets 2 pieces of content. The growth version would say, I studied 100+ carousels. Here are the 3 AI prompts that get instant leads on Instagram. This version gives a stranger the context immediately on who you are and why they should trust you. Whereas the connection version would say, if you still can't get leads despite posting every day, I'll let you in on a secret. And can you see how that version assumes that the person already understands why they should listen to you? That's why once you know which relationship the post is designed for, you need to decide what content format will communicate the information best. Because there are 3 ways to grow on Instagram. You can grow by people sharing your content or reposting it. You can grow via the explore feed and Instagram organically pushing out your content. Or you can grow via people who are your existing audience commenting on your post, which then pushes your post out to more people just like them. The algorithm is very smart and it changes very often. So as a creator on Instagram, you want to maximize all 3, and here's exactly how you do it. So the first type is shareable one-liners, and this works because it's a very simple idea which can be communicated through one visual snapshot, and the thought process is that you want to say something that other people secretly want to say, but they're afraid to say it. So instead of them saying it themselves, they repost your content to their stories or to their feed, or they push it into somebody else's DMs. So take this post from 6 a.m. practice, for example. He is speaking to parents that have kids who do some type of sports. And those kids oftentimes don't want to do their homework, they don't want to go to practice. So what he does is he specifically posts this shareable type of content so that those parents are essentially able to say what they want to say to the kid without really saying it, because he, as an authority figure in that space, has said it on their behalf. It says, increase your GPA by keeping your room clean. Here are the 6 reasons why it works. And then in the caption, he's written the reasons there. This written piece of content got more than 40,000 interactions by 88.8% non-followers. So when people tell you that written content cannot grow your accounts, they just don't know what they're doing. They do not have the right format. And because this post was designed to get shares, look, it got 28,719 shares. That's more shares from one post than most people ever get on their total amount of reels combined. Now, the second type of post that will grow your account on Instagram is the carousel post. And the reason why this works is because the algorithm rewards you when you get people spending a lot of time on one piece of content. And with a carousel, people swipe through the carousel because they need to put their mind on reading it, and they can spend many, many minutes just on one piece of content. So look at this example from Ruth Roberts, who is another client of mine. It says, after 35 years as a veterinarian, here are 4 quiet sources of toxic burden in a typical home. And if you look, this one got 47 direct leads on that piece of content. And on her backend analytics, she has significantly more saves because people want to come back to that piece of content so that they can learn. And a quick tip here, look at how her first line has both authority in it, where she speaks about how she's been a vet for 35 years, and it also has 2 numbers in it, which is the 35 years and 4 sources. Please implement those 2 things on your next carousel and you will notice a significant increase in trust and engagement, and people will also be saving it more because they know why to listen to you and they know the exact number of pieces of value that you're going to be giving them. And here's a third type of post. It is the case study post, and the reason why this works is because it massively increases your trust. And of course, this generates a lot of sales, but more on that on another video. Case studies increase your authority. So when people are finding you for the first time, they land on your profile, they see exactly how you get results for your clients, meaning that they can trust you. And that is more likely to increase your following. And this is why sometimes when people go viral, they don't actually grow their audience. It's because when people see their content, they land on their profile for the first time and that person doesn't look like a reliable authority figure. Case studies fix that. And the easiest way to remember these 3 is that there are 3 goals. The first is shares, the second is saves, and the third is trust. And choosing the right type gives the idea the right container. But before spending hours producing it, you need to know if people even care about the idea. That's why we distribute and test. And writing is a faster and cheaper way to see whether the right people care. That's why we publish the idea in the simplest written content format first across multiple social media platforms, and then we decide where it lands on the traffic light test. So you just pick one of those 3 formats from before, you share it, and then if the right people responded strongly, then you know that's a proven idea and you could turn that into a reel if you wanted to, because that would be great. Because if the right people didn't respond, thank goodness that you didn't spend hours creating a reel or a longer video or post from that. Mark it as read and move on. Now, if the topic seemed interesting to a couple of people, but it didn't really get a significant amount of engagement or new followers, then that means that it's yellow and you need to rework the hook or how you're packaging the idea. You can go back to the 3 formats, take an old post and slot them into one of those 3, and most likely it's going to then tell you if it's actually a good idea or not. And if the right people responded, then you know you are onto something. That is an idea that then you could turn into a reel if you wanted to. But again, you probably don't need to because you can grow just from sharing written content like I've showed you already. Take this post as an example. It started as an Instagram carousel. I got ChatGPT to act as my toughest prospect. These 5 prompts exposed flaws in my offer that customers never told me. Now that post grew my account by hundreds of followers and it got dozens and dozens of qualified leads directly into my DMs. So that post was clearly green on the traffic light test. So I turned that post into a written reel and check this out. Hundreds more leads and dozens more people followed me. But here's where it gets interesting. I then turned it into a written Facebook post. And check out the metrics. 1,700 people commented to get the freebie and more than 800 shares, again, on a written piece of content, not a reel. And because I know that this piece of content is proven, if I sat down and filmed a video about it, I know that it's gonna be a banger. In fact, I could even turn it into a long form YouTube video right here because I know that idea has already been validated and the market wants it, so it is worth my time. Because when the market tells you you have an idea that works, don't throw it away and start from zero. Instead, double down on it with the gold mine method. And now in particular, that piece of content can be used for AI training data to cut the amount of time that it takes you to grow on Instagram. So instead of starting from scratch, you can copy and paste your winning post and say, write me a similar post, but instead today, let's talk about this topic. And then right below, you just paste the winning piece of content so it knows exactly what to model. As an example, my client Ken had this written carousel on his Instagram. What he did is he turned it into a reel because the written piece of content was already proven and it had already gained him more than 3,000 followers from that one exact written piece of content. So instead of sitting down in front of the camera, filming, spending time getting the camera ready, spending time getting the lighting and the angles perfect and ready, he just copied the text, put it over a little video of him just sitting there, and that written reel got more than 1 million views, 3,500 link taps to sign up to the webinar that he was running, which is his freebie, and 1,900 new followers. So instead of you opening AI saying, write me a post about XYZ topic, instead you say, here's a proven post that already generated a significant amount of reach. Then you paste the post, and after that you type, please take that exact format and write me a post which is very similar, but instead which speaks about this topic, which is another topic that you know your ideal client needs to hear from you. Or you could take that proven post and you can say, this was a carousel post. Now I want this as a savable post based on Lauren Tickner's YouTube video. Then you can grab the transcript from this video, drop that right into the AI, and from there, it will understand how to reformat your piece of content. Or if you want to save time and build an AI clone of yourself that is trained in your voice, I'll put a link to a free tool down in the description that we've built based on helping thousands of clients build their You AI, which is an AI version of you that has actually written all of the pieces of content that you have seen on the screen in this video. The last and most important thing that you need to understand is that whether you already know it or not, top creators in your space and online always use proven frameworks, because if there is a format that works, why try and recreate the wheel? You just double down on what's working. And once you see this, you cannot unsee it. In fact, if we go to my carousel post about ChatGPT earlier, look at this. It says, I got ChatGPT to act as my toughest prospect. Now that is called a discovery hook. It's essentially proving that you have gone and done something, which immediately gives you authority. The next line foreshadows what is included in the rest of the post, and it relates exactly to the problem that my ideal client is facing. Look, it says these 5 prompts expose flaws in my offer that customers never told me. It also opens a loop which then gets closed later on in the post. From there, the entire post follows the same framework. It says the name of the test, it then gives the prompt, and then it explains why it's important. And if you've gone viral in the past and you haven't understood why, it's because your post would have followed a proven framework, you just didn't know about it. That's why when you've got AI working for you, you can ensure that the AI always follows the proven frameworks. Again, that's in the description so that you can build your own AI clone of yourself for free. In that freebie, I've even got another AI tool that I've built for you that gives you 8 posts that you can copy and paste to start growing on Instagram and start making sales from your Instagram today. Because successful Instagram growth isn't about having a massive audience. I mean, I have had people come to me with more than 1 million followers who are making less than 10K a month. Whereas I've had many clients that have less than 1,000 followers who are making more than 50 grand a month, because they understand that it's more important to have a high quality audience with high quality attention, with content that either grows or connects, formatted into content that either gets people to share, save, or to increase trust, which they then use to test ideas, and then they double down on the winners, and they get the AI to store all that knowledge so that it's a repeatable system that then compounds. And in the next video, I will show you how to turn that attention into DMs and sales. So click that over there, and I'll see you over there next.